Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today we got Kim, I guess. We got Jamani, we got Stacy, and we shall be discussing Godfather of Harlem as a delayed, since most of y'all didn't see the episode last week. We got season 3, episode 5, The Angel of Death. Apparently, let's get to it. Kim, what did you think this week's episode?
Well, can you see me now?
It's fine. We'll work through it. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was an okay episode. Elise kind of got on my nerves. I don't know what it is about her. I just feel like she's not relevant to the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about her journey, like, at all. Like, I'm glad she got off drugs. Wonderful, right? But other than that, she could have went off with Margaret, and I would have been like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
I hear you. I think that's why they sent her with Malcolm.
Yeah.
To keep her relevant, but like I said, even that was unnecessary. Like, she brought nothing to the story.
Right. Like, even if like what you were saying about her having an affair, if they would have done that, right? Or at least if she would have tried to make a move on him or expressed her feelings for him, right? Yeah. Then it would have been like, okay, so they're giving her a little something, right? Yes. This was like a waste of a storyline. I'm like, why? I don't care. And you come back and you're hugging and his wife and all that. I'm like, it ain't you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just BS to me. So anyway, and then I kind of was glad that it wasn't as much as the same thing with Bumpy. I mean, it was, but it wasn't, you know? I don't care about his henchman. I can't remember the dude's name. I gotta look at my list. Nathaniel. Now you're gonna be a drug addict, which we know always happens, right? Eventually, somebody starts. I mean, it's cocaine. I know, right?
It's too expensive for him to get too addicted to it.
I saw that scene differently. I think. Okay. And I'm hoping I'm right, because, again, we don't want the same story over and over again. I'm hoping that they do some creative history, and this is the beginning of crack, or some version of crack in Harlem.
Well, there's that thing called freebasing, right? So what I wanted to know, because I don't really know, I mean, someone did crack in front of me. I didn't even know they were doing it. But when you do, seriously, and I was 17, 18 years old. But anyway, so freebasing, is that the same thing as doing crack? Like, because I know Richard Pryor was doing the freebasing, and he had been doing it for years, and I mean, many years. That's how he almost killed himself.
Yeah, they caught himself on fire.
Yeah. So is that the same thing? Does anybody know if that's the same thing?
I don't believe so. I don't, because I'm like, crack is rock form. Freebasing is more like you're putting the cocaine in a pipe and smoking it.
It doesn't. That's what people do crack, though, right?
Well, you smoke crack. So I think it's the fumes. I think they're.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it's not rocked, so it's going to. It doesn't have that instant high that you get from crack. Like
we can Google this, but either way, I'm hoping this leads to a new drug supply situation. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only way that scene should be relevant if somehow now that heroin is off the table, that maybe somehow they can't afford cocaine. I mean they've already established that. So maybe they get just enough that they can make their version of what we would call crack.
But wouldn't Nathaniel need to continue to be involved with this woman so he can find out who her connect is? Because the husband's dead.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm hoping that's how they make this whole thing relevant. Like somehow she can figure out who to connect with. Because if not, this is a waste of time. That's what I'm saying.
Which a lot of the story is to me. But yeah. Well, I mean, other than that, there was another thing that I thought was a waste of a storyline, which was the artist, the drug addict artist, and who made the picture of Bumpy. I was like, why? Could you have filled this with anything other than this? Like, and then at the end, of course, he's back on being a heroin addict, right? I was like, really? Like, this was so unnecessary. So yeah, I mean, it was okay, but I'm ready for it to be done, to be honest. Let's just have Malcolm pass and
be done. Which it's coming. I mean, he's back home, so he ain't got too many more episodes left.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing the phone call thing, which really happened. So that's gonna continue to ramp up.
Yeah.
I think did they do the shootings yet? Remember they shot up his house before he died?
Not yet. I mean, he just landed. He just landed. So like maybe next episode.
Yeah.
If they go through all that, I mean, if they go through all that, they could just be move on to his death at some point.
Okay.
Giovanni, what you got? I can't see you in the video. If it just to let you know, so it's just me. That's fine.
Okay. So I know that you're probably going to take issue with the Nathaniel scene. I'm like, I already foresaw that when they were like introducing themselves. My name is Marina. My dad was a fisherman. My name is Nathaniel. I never knew my dad.
I forgot, but thank you for bringing that up.
I was like,
I do take issue. I would have did this last week, but I forgot. But of course, you don't know what his daddy is. He's black. It's okay. It's okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. So that caught me off guard with Monsieur or
the black man being murdered.
Yeah. So I'm like, now that he's gone, I foresee that they said Bumpy is all of his businesses are going to suffer if he doesn't have the heroin. So the Italians are expecting him to do something. So I foresee that this cocaine is going to be, his way back into some sort of power play. In whether, okay, I can't sell to my community, maybe I can sell to their community outside of the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
maybe we might see Sammy Davis or Richard Pryor or something in future episodes, and he hooks them, stuff like that. I don't.
Sammy Davis, maybe. I don't know about Richard Pryor.
I don't know a lot of 60s entertainers, so
I put it on his penis when he has sex, or was that somebody else?
I don't think that's gonna be in the show. But I don't know.
Quincy Jones or something. I don't know.
That's the thing. I think that was the thing, but
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles did it.
Ray Charles kicked the heroin, but we don't know about whether or not he had something with the white.
True. White girl deadly.
So I was like, yeah, that is the play of the quote unquote white man, because that is the stereotype that we're playing up is, oh, you sent your errand boy, the black man. Well, we're just gonna cut through the middleman and just go straight to the other white man directly, because you have bosses and you're irrelevant now if you're going to play tribal games. Is that not the lesson that we're being taught through?
I hear you. I mean, that was obvious when he was like, "Oh, I'm sure I will." Joe said something to the equivalent of like, "I'm sure I can make you one more offer or whatever." I was like, "Yeah, this fucker's dead." Like he's talking way too much shit. Like, so I was like, "This will be the last time we see him." So his head in the bag was not a surprise. Because he was just, I get it. But again, if French Connection is off the table for Bumpy, they got to move on to something, which again, that's why I thought, I hope Nathaniel's scene, as you and I agree, is going to lead to some kind of cocaine story, but they already established cocaine costs too much. It's not cost effective, which is why crack became a thing. Is with the little amounts that they can get, if he can find the connect.
Okay, so let's go back to the dream, right? Because the first dream, the actual dream was, right? Death comes to Harlem, right? And then you see everything play out. And then he is in real life, he looks at the newspaper, Vietnam War ramps up. Nah, I'm not talking about that. Flip it over to the art section. Are we going into the Vietnam connection, sending it back in coffins?
Maybe, but I thought that was
that's
because I'm saying you're saying Death Comes to Harlem, but the real headline, that's foreshadowing. The real headline is
Vietnam.
War ramps up.
I thought that was heroin though. Like I'm remembering
heroin. At that time that was it was heroin because the troops were actually hooked on it.
So
so I'm saying that's what he's gonna get his supply of heroin.
He gets a new supplier, and somehow it's through Vietnam. So that they could do that.
Yeah, and I'm saying that is the actual foreshadowing of that. And they're saying, yeah, like when they say that the whole when it goes to the art section and you see the whole doubles, like the two-faced painting, right? It's like, all right, so now he's really going to turn into a monster now that he has the ultimate connection, because this is even bigger than the French connection ever was.
And then Frank Lucas takes over, because I'm just basing on American Gangster, to be honest. But that was his connect, and that's how he took over the heroin market, and the Italians had to buy from him. So like, because it was all coming out of Vietnam. So I mean he could go that route, but that means they got to introduce a fake ass Frank Lucas. Or
they might just skip over him, and he might be basically, what do you call it, when they put two characters together?
Yeah,
they just make him a composition of Bumpy Johnson and Frank Lucas together, and they just never write him into it.
Yeah. But
we've never even established him as existing in any sort of way. So to just all of a sudden introduce him, and he has this whole connection to the Vietnam War, would just be very coincidental. But not to say that I put it past the show either way, but you know.
Also true. Maybe he's a veteran that just came back. That could be it. All right. Okay. Let's say Stacey, what did you think of said episode?
At first, I thought Nathaniel's storyline was telling us that he was actually Cuban and that his curls were natural and not a permanent. I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay. Then I felt like it was some type of setup, like the girl was setting him up for something. But no. And then I thought, okay, well, the husband is going to be the new connect. And I was like, well, not that either. So I don't know where this is going, if there is going to be a cocaine connection, or they just felt like telling us this short love story or whatever. The painting, I thought the painting was hilarious. Like the little things coming out. He said, I knew, I was like, he gonna show that picture and it's gonna be terrible, and Buffy's gonna kill him. But he didn't. Well, not directly. He didn't kill him. It was unnecessary yet hilarious at the same time. So I was here for it. No Malcolm. I'm disappointed. Elise, don't care. Mamie, don't care about her either. Just all of it.
But all right. So I thought the painting.
Oh wait, what's the Stella? I need her to
Stella.
I need her to be bludgeoned. I need Joe just to
absolutely, Stacey.
Just to be like, you dirty, stupid, ungrateful.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Totally.
Yeah, one job to answer the phone and you'll pick it up and slam it down. Yep. Like this bitch.
Trifling.
Even a dog said, yep.
Just let your mama kill you, bitch. Like, you ain't even worth all this. I was like, he saved himself, because we get them draws, he's not making it. Like, I don't give a damn what history says. If he fucks Stella, he's not making it. Like, that's just how it goes. So I'm hoping this is the writers keeping him alive, in a way from Stella.
He obviously is hip to what's going on, because he said the little slick slide comment about, well, he shouldn't have called the feds if he didn't want all this to happen. And
well, she told him, didn't she?
He's not even calling the actual lawyer to verify or to try to do, to see if she can go out of the country or anything like that. He's just like, I don't care. I'll just say what I need to say to you, and you're gonna stay where you're gonna stay. Like, he's not even
entertaining the situation. Yeah, it was hilarious. I mean, it was. I was like, definitely Stella. She get choked out. I mean, before. I mean, she shouldn't live out this series. Like either way. I mean, but before the series is over, she needs to be killed by somebody.
I seriously, I think the writers are gonna give her some sort of happy ending.
She's gonna be in Paris. She's gonna make it to Paris, thinking about her dead black boyfriend that they could have been there together. Some stupid shit. Like
she might kill him and just run to Paris.
Yeah. I mean, with what money? I mean, she said, I don't know. Again, I really thought Daddy would be coming out of jail. I thought so at least see him, but maybe he's not making it this season.
I thought no, you said episode 8, right?
A description that I saw mentioned him. So I thought it meant he was actually going to be in the episode. That's how I knew about the CIA thing, because that that becomes more of a thing, apparently. But to the painting, I thought the painting was important. I when he was like, I can't wait for you to see it, but you didn't see it, I was like, that's just gonna be crazy when he finally shows.
That's what I said. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important because this is the only episode that I can say that Bumpy is starting to maybe think about the fact that he is the problem. That, like with the dream and the painting, it's like he too was like, am I the monster who's killing my neighborhood? And then the guy was like, you are the monster that's destroying your neighborhood. And he's still like, I'm just fighting the white man's racism. But like he's somewhat acknowledging it. So like maybe that's the painting and his self-reflection I thought was important. That was in the same episode.
I'm like, when the addict died and he said, what did you think was gonna happen? It was like the only new 2 people was in there was the addict and the Marcel guy. So it was like they ended up basically switching places in real life. Like he ended up dying. And it was like, you didn't expect this to happen when you tried to cut the Italians out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, you notice the heroin addict is the crackhead from Power Book 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah. I noticed that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lane that he gonna stay
right.
Hey.
How sad is that Black Hollywood is like,
look, he's working, right? He's working. He's one of the lucky ones. A lot of actors are not working. I'm serious. A lot of actors out here not working.
He just moved from one show to another. He's like, just keep it going. It's just a different drug.
And he's an older actor, right? Older actors, they don't really have the time for it. They don't really want him around.
It's cool. Like there's certain Italian actors, they spent their whole career playing mobsters. Like that's who you are.
Right.
Like that's.
Sam Jackson was an addict, and that's how he started out, was just playing an addict because he an actual addict, and
So I'm saying you do what you know. It was just interesting to see him like it's in this. I can't wait for a Tyler Perry show and he's playing the addict in that. I just want to see him be part of the circuits. Now he's done 50 Cent shows. He's done fucking a Godfather of Harlem. I'm like, what's the next black show that he'll be walking down the street going, come on, Harlem. If he's in Harlem Run the World. If he's in Run the World season 2 as a random crackhead on the side of the street, as the 3 women are walking,
he's gonna play one of their dads.
Oh, that's how you do it. Yes.
That Kerry Washington new show.
No.
Kerry Washington got a new show?
He's gonna come back in Reasonable Doubt season 2. That's the
Oh, okay.
That we never saw. And it's just gonna be him. 2 points for you, Stacey. That show's got canceled. But if somehow it gets returned, I know, right? Quote. Oh, Malcolm's return. I looked it up because I was interested to see what the history was. And the picture behind me, he actually did an interview when he got off the plane at the airport, because he wrote a letter apparently to the people saying that he realized that white people can be good, that his transformation in Mecca and what it meant to him. And he wrote a letter, and the reporters were like, are you serious about this? Do you see what does race mean to you, and da 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 da. And it was pretty significant. I thought like it would have been good if they would have played this video in the episode to give at least some type of like context of what she's doing here. Like, Malcolm just came back, he gave this great interview. What does it mean for y'all? Like, now she's talking to her boo thing. I think when they rewrite history, it's her and him that somehow stop like the wife from being killed. They can't stop Malcolm because that's history, right? But somehow the wife was supposed to get killed too, and they protect her or some shit. Like they're going to be instrumental in the assassination attempts in some level, just like the picture behind Jemani. Some stupid shit. They're going to be like, well, you know who was there? Elise. I'm like, no, she wasn't. But that's how they're going to.
It was just Betty and all the girls. And it was that video is breathtaking when you watch it. It's terrible. And his daughters had to see him assassinated. It was terrible.
Somehow Elise and that dude gonna be there. You know, and this kind of brings up Jemani's issue with Quantum Leap, because I remember the episode when he leaped into the Secret Service agent when JFK was about to get assassinated. And I was like, I know they're not going to change history for this show. But somehow they did it that Sam's job was to save his wife. Jackie, that because in original history she died, but thanks to Sam she didn't die, and then she became the icon of America and shit. And I was like, they could pull a quantum leap.
They could.
I was like, but yeah, I think that's the only reason why we're still seeing Elise and this silly shit. Because like you said, she easily could be down south, never to be seen or heard from again.
And then but I also feel too, like her and Omar. Like I think Omar realizes that Elise is a weak person. And he's like playing on that, right? Acting like he loves her, wants to be back with her or something. But I feel like he has a plan. I feel like he's one of the people who's trying to kill. Like, even though he said he's not, he's saying that he didn't mean to do it and all this whole crap, and he apologized. I still feel like he's the one that plan is gonna move forward, and he's gonna be the one that assassinate. Well, he has people together to assassinate Malcolm.
Okay. Yeah. But he's still playing a role. So even you agree he's playing some type of role instead.
Yes, and I think if you get close to Elise, you get close to Malcolm. Do you see what I'm saying? Like he's using her. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I can see that. Or maybe he's like, I see the love that you have for Malcolm. So if I can kill Malcolm, I can have you.
It could be that too. It could be that too, right?
They can do that silly shit. Like they can go that route, retie this whole thing together.
Yep.
Because I was hoping that she tried to kiss him after he passed out when he was sick or whatever. They poisoned him. I already thought she was like, no, Malcolm, you're my man. And he's like, nah, girl, I got a wife who also is okay with you, so maybe we can make this happen. No, I can't do it. I'm like, look here, Charles, be faithful.
Wow,
damn you. No, I'm just kidding. He better than Charles. He works ish.
Who works?
Earn money.
He does.
Malcolm?
Yes.
Did not work.
He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, he didn't have a job. Because remember, if you ever watch all the movies they made about him, and also in his book, he did not have they had people who helped them. Like they would give them money, they would give them food. They gave him a house twice. They gave him a house twice. He never worked. He always was about the cause, and he never had money. Malcolm was the same way. Malcolm is exactly the same way. People, it was the kindness of people that had them surviving so long.
Then that should be the story. It should be that fucking Bumpy was the financier. Like that's his role. Like this whole like Secret Service protection agency shit is stupid. But like if he was like, hey, I got you. You don't have to worry about a thing. I'm paying for your house, your kids, and everything. What they were gonna be taken care of. Like that would make a better realistic story.
Did they do that in season 2?
I don't remember.
He was helping him out. Like right when he started falling out with the nation, Buck was like, I got you.
Oh,
that could have been, that could have been, because that's exactly what happened. People in Harlem, people all over. I mean, even around the world, people around the world helped them too. Because they felt the same way that Malcolm felt about where they were at. And so charity, that's how he survived. It was charity. And Malcolm and Martin Luther King, it was the same way. Yeah.
GoFundMe page before there was a thing.
Yeah. And remember when Coretta was about to be put out of her home, Oprah Winfrey saved her and paid it up. She didn't even know that this was going on. And she said, well, why didn't you call me? I would have been. And she said she didn't want to do that. Like she didn't want handouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess as she got older, she didn't want the handouts, which didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, because she had been getting them all her life. But anyway, yeah, Oprah saved her. Yeah.
So Rosa Parks, I forgot who was supporting her.
Yeah, Rosa Parks got saved too.
Wasn't that Tyler Perry?
That was Tyler. Yeah, I think that was Tyler Perry.
I know Tyler Perry that did that. Like he bought something for her. Like, but she was also.
He said he bought her home. He bought where she was living so she could stay there. Yeah. I
was like, and maybe again, maybe after, you know, I don't know how much longer after Malcolm dies, you know, the story continue. But maybe that's, you know, that's bumpy to be like, hey, you know, I'm you know, I'll take care of your family. Don't worry about that. You know, like, you know, we're all one type of thing. And maybe that's how they roll this thing up. Because I am trying to figure out the end game of this. So the police captain just says, "Fuck it."
Wait, did any of y'all think that was realistic? I was like,
it wasn't realistic, but I was here for it.
It was either that.
Really was like, fuck it, like I'm done.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm smart. I was a captain. I get another job.
Like, doing what? Like you can't
anything.
He's like, your wife is gonna be like, you better take your ass back and take some of that Italian
you know how much money? I mean, for a police captain, a black person to be a police captain is huge, right? Yeah. And then, especially in that time, and then how much money he was making, which of course we know it would not be the same amount as a white person, but it was still a good amount of money, right?
Yeah, a good job.
If I was his wife, yeah, I'd be like, oh no, sir.
That's like,
no, sir, you need to go back and say sorry.
Yeah, fuck your morals. So you need to go back and get those Italians and kill Bumpy. Like he needs to be a victim of police brutality.
Yes, he absolutely does. Beat him to death.
I mean, he did kill a cop.
That hasn't even come back. Like, fuck this show, man. Like, this dude killed a black man, robbed the fucking bank, and none of this has come back. Like, what is happening? Like, he still paints himself as the hero of Harlem. I was like, this don't make no kind of sense.
How's he gonna run Harlem without Doogie?
That's
like, if they do switch to cocaine, they can't sell it at Harlem.
Well, again, if they busted it down to crack and make it therefore cost effective, I mean, they could. But anyway, I think Jamani's right. I think it's a much more realistic, if you will, solution that the Vietnam War is somehow going to open the Vietnam pipeline for Doogie, and therefore he floods the market, and therefore like he gets it cheaper or whatever, and then something like that instead of crack. But he has to get another drug supply, obviously. But Vietnam heroin sounds much more at this point more historically accurate.
I think you're thinking about the cocaine aspect of the episode. I think the biggest point was the conversation he had with the guy in the car about the cocaine. Bumpy is not just going to just jump on anything. He wants to know specifics about the market, about all of that. And that's how the pipeline to Vietnam comes in, because it fills that market. You're getting it cheaper, all of those different things. That's why, you would why it would make sense for him to go that route instead of trying to get it from France, like he's been getting it, or like the Italians have. So that, I think that was more or less the point. They just used cocaine for that conversation to happen.
I agree with you. I'm saying, but either way, this new heroin supply is going to have to be flushed out. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe this is how the Asians get involved. Like maybe they somehow got some Chinatown, because at first they said Chinatown don't fuck with anyone outside of Chinatown. So like maybe somehow he found some Asian people that pop up, and they start working that out. And that's how they get to Vietnam. I don't see this man flying to Vietnam just to find some Doogie. Like that don't make any sense. Like he's gonna have to run across somebody already in Harlem that has to connect, and we have not seen any veterans of anything. So I don't see that.
Maybe it's gonna turn into Snowfall. Remember, the CIA is in this, so it's like, they're already getting weapons, like military weapons from them. So maybe the CIA is gonna have some sort of part in it.
Right. Who is we haven't seen the CIA lead agent or whatever the fuck. Where's that? I mean, because I thought, where's the Teddy? Where's the Teddy in this series, so we can kind of flush out the CIA thing? You know, like I don't think right. We haven't seen any of that, right?
Nope.
So like that's a thing. So he's taking Jose's word for it that it's the CIA providing all this shit. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but even then, there should be a guy. There should be the guy. So it'd be like, oh yeah, now I can help you with the doogie or whatever the fuck. And
but
then
do you want to meet the guy?
Huh?
If you were Bumpy, would you want to meet the guy?
Yes.
I would want to meet the guy.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be trusting fucking Jose, and now because now I have to cut him in. So I mean, I want to know who I'm really dealing with. Put eyes on this dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure. I mean, if they're gonna go that route, they're gonna introduce some type of shadowy white man who's supposed to be like the CIA agent, you know, who's running all this stuff, which they should have did by now anyway. Like I said, with the guns and whole killing the reporter and all that shit. Like that could be his credit. Hey, I'm the one who killed the reporter for you. I need some help with the Italians. And they're like, we don't fuck with the Italians, but we got this whole Vietnam thing worked out. How about we get you some drugs and you take over Harlem or something like that? Like to tie that together, you know, like that could be something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Either way, Malcolm's gonna die before the season's over, and then the show will be over. Let's just say R.I.P. and be like it was good seeing you.
I think the shipment is gonna come in. He's gonna need those men for to secure the shipment, and I've said it before: secure the shipment, and they're gonna be taken off of Malcolm, and that's gonna leave him vulnerable.
I hear you. I hear you. That's also a possibility. I don't know. Huh?
They can hijack the shipment, a la Gangs of London.
Also true. Well, no, that was the plan anyway. But they needed the cops even for that. So that was the plan. They were going to hijack the shipment off. I thought. No. I'm sorry. First, they were going to move the drugs when off with the boats before it hit the dock. Then when he found out that the Italians were getting it, he was going to use the cops to help him rob the Italians. And then the cops said, "Fuck that!" So yes, that was on the table too. And now he ain't got shit. So I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with Doogie. They need to do more. And get us to a direction that we
get drugs on a drug show. So there's that.
Huh?
At least we get drugs on a drug show. So
you are absolutely correct. So thank you, Godfather of Harlem, because you're doing a much better job than BMF, which already got renewed. I don't get that, but yes, you're doing a better job of keeping drugs.
Velma got renewed, and I don't get that.
Which one?
Velma.
Yes.
Do you know how many people hate that show? She has like 11% on. I think it's Rotten. No, they hate watching it.
Yeah, that's still watching.
True.
So still winning. I hear you though. I was like, this show's gonna get canceled, but I was like, nope, because every week I'm like, oh, come on, Velma, what you got next? Oh,
I think they made it so crappy. I think they made it such a way that it's like you don't have anything until like the last 2 episodes. So it's like you are forced. I didn't actually go and rewatch it, but if you want to hate watch it, you have to go back and watch it to see all, the clues or whatever, because you're so bored in the middle, you might just tune out.
Okay, I hear you, and let's put a pin on that for the Velma review. So, Stacey, anything for Godfather of Harlem?
Nope, bring on the Doogie.
More Doogie. Jamani, anything for Godfather of Harlem?
I have no idea what's going to happen with this whole Stella thing. Like, they need to get a clear direction for that, because I thought something was going to happen with the whole France thing. I'm like, Monsieur and her, like, something was going to happen. Why is two opposite opposing people talking about France? But no dice. So they just need to make a clear, defined story for where her character is going. Otherwise, she's just taking up screen time. Elise and Mamie's relationship, I'm just noticed last night, like, it's just like suddenly they're like sister wives or something. Like, it's just like they're like bosom buddies or something. It's just like
bosom buddies is better. Sister wives is not
sister mothers.
Sister. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like they're close.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the series, they were just like they hated each other and couldn't be
in the threatened to kill each other.
Wait. To your point, Stacey, that was because of Margaret's. Like once at least wanted to actually be a mother. That's when fucking Mamie was like, "You a crackhead hoe, and you stay away from my child." Like they were okay before that, but now that she's down south,
they were cordial. They weren't like buddies.
All right, but now they've become to be sister mothers, to be like, hey, we're here to take care of Margaret, who's not even here.
Yeah, I'm like, they're just talking, like, it's not even like, we'll be civil to each other for the sake of her. It's like, we're friends now, just all by ourselves, without even Bumpy even being around, because it's just us in the kitchen talking about our own lives.
Yeah.
I'm like,
people work stuff out,
No, I'm just saying that it just evolved so quickly, and like I don't know, it just kind of catches me off guard because I'm like,
well, is this season 3, right?
Yeah.
So it's 3 years.
Yeah. Well, so over time they have been doing this. Again, once it was revealed that Elise was the true mother, right? And then they had to work together to calm Margaret down because she lost her shit. And they had to be like, hey, we still love you. We're still a family. And then Elise had to take a step back to be like, and then to be like, hey, I'm a sister. Like I'm not a mother like I want to be. So they had to kind of work that kind of relationship out so they could kind of parent, and Margaret. So Margaret really kind of helped them put that together. Really, Bumpy is the reason why they were fighting in the first place, because Bumpy's the one who got his daughter hooked on heroin, really, to an extent. So she hated him more than she hated him.
Yeah,
and she appreciated Mamie for taking care of her daughter.
Well, really. No, I'm saying like from the perspective of Mamie is in with Powell, who's like a Baptist preacher, and Elise is Muslim now, and it was them clashing religiously. Like I don't want the daughter Margaret to become Muslim, and it was just very religious oppositions, and they just had opposing worldviews. That's more kind of like the conflict of like season 2, and it's like just all of a sudden between season 2 and season 3 they're just like, oh, everything is hunky-dory, like there's no conflict. It's like, oh well, I support everything that you're doing Islamically, and
it was about Margaret. Like they were okay with her being Muslim, but once she said Margaret was going to be Muslim, they're like, shut the hell up, and then that became a problem. And at least is less Muslim now. Like she used to wear the suits and all that shit. Like she's more less militant. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like that's also helped. So they've evolved.
Yeah, that's really what it is. And she's still Muslim, just like Betty was always Muslim. But she didn't wear the burqa and the hijab. Yeah, she didn't wear all that. And that's how Elise is now. And then sometimes you just evolve for the child, right? So to me, that's not unrealistic. You have to work things out, especially children are watching you and the way that you act, right? And so you don't want it to become something generational, right? Like, yeah, you better hate her for this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like that, that happens sometimes. So I don't think it's unrealistic. I think sometimes people just say, I'm putting my gun down. All right, let's just get along for the kids.
So does Elise actually live there?
Huh?
I was saying, so does Elise actually live there, or does she live somewhere else? Because I'm like,
she lives there. It seems like she does live there, right?
No,
seen her in another place.
No. She don't live there. We just never had the reason to know where she lives, but she does live in the house. Like,
but then why does she always come back to her dad's house?
Because she visits, but she don't.
No. But I mean, like, well, when she came back from the trip, she didn't go home first.
She visited, but she.
Yeah, but I would think I'd go home first.
I hear you.
Take a shower, change my panties, something.
These are all fine, and go to the bathroom at some point. Which is something that they do. But she don't live there. They just know for some reason they don't bother to show where she lives, but she does not live with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's an odd thing.
I'm like, if she's always there, I foresee then that's going to be a point of vulnerability again. Like there's going to be some sort of home attack, because this show.
There already was. She got stabbed.
Yeah, and she didn't live there, and they still attacked. She just happened to be there, and she said Mamie. That was wild. That was a great episode. Like that shit was hilarious. Because she was like, "I will kill you, bitch," and then she's like, "Oh, I need you." I was like, "What?" That was pretty cool. I thought that was cool. All right, Kim. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for it to end. Honestly, I love all the actors; they're wonderful, but the storyline is so stale. I just need it to, pleasantly go away.
Pleasantly go away.
Just move another show. I mean, that's another thing too. I don't know. They haven't even how sometimes they'll have like another show that's going to come out to replace a show. I haven't even seen that. Yeah, but
well, now you're talking at a channel level. What else do they have?
Because MGM Plus, I don't know if you looked it up and down. I was like, there's nothing on this thing.
Yeah, content is lacking. Content's lacking. After From, I'm cutting that shit off. But that's me. I know Stacey's gonna cut it off after Godfather.
I already cut mine off. I did the 7-day trial because I thought something was I thought something was wrong because I get it on my cable, right? But because I wasn't getting Bumpy's, episode, I was like, well, something must be wrong, right? So I did MGM Plus, and then I was like, wait a minute, so I cut that thing off. I did the 7-day trial. Yeah, actually, I was doing it while y'all were talking. I read of it. I was like, I'm not keeping this. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm riding this out through From, and then I'm done with this channel. They don't have a good roster. So maybe they'll get better. I hate also Apple TV. Most of those shows are shit to me.
You know what? There is this one show that I'm gonna watch today. It's called Sharper, and it has John Lithgow, Julianne Moore.
Yes.
And it's a couple of people in it. It looks very interesting. Me and my friend were talking about it. She's gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it too.
Well, let me know. The cast is solid.
Isn't it?
Apple, Apple can get the actors. I mean, they got them, but the stories just don't compel.
Oh, anyway. Don't watch the one with the psychologist with
Harrison Ford.
With the dude from Breaking Bad.
Good Lord, no, Jason Segel. Jason Segel is the star of it. He was on How I Met Your Mother, that TV series. Yeah, it is the most depressing, super slow show that I've seen in a while. I would say Patient is like running neck and neck with it. Remember The Patient? Yeah. Remember how slow it was? Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh, I was like, wow, I couldn't get past the first episode. He's depressed. I understand he's depressed, but good Lord. And then you have Harrison Ford on top of that with his slow talking behind. I was like, no, yeah.
There's your review. How's Harlem doing before we go?
Oh, I haven't watched the last episode, but Harlem is still Harlem. Angie is still all over the place. The light-skinned one is still insecure and not sure of herself. They did have what's his name? Fox. I talked about him yesterday.
Rick Fox?
Rick Fox. They had him and Jasmine Guy with her super fake accent, which she actually is of this descent of Jamaican. I don't understand why you can't get the accent right, but okay. But Rick Fox has an accent also, and he has descent of Jamaican too. I don't know why they can't get the accent right, but yeah.
I remember seeing Jasmine Guy the first season. And we never saw the husband. But now
it's Rick Fox. Yeah. Right. But it's not horrible, but it's like that Angie child. She just ruined the whole show. I'm sorry, she does.
Well, if anybody cares, that's our review of Harlem right there. Because we ain't doing it as a show. All right. Thank you guys very much for watching. We appreciate you. We're about to do Mayor of Kingstown or All the Queen's Men. If you
what?
Yes.
How? Please.
Fantastical.
Oh, yes.
Men get raped. Like it's a thing. Like there's some similarities. But let's get to it. Jamani, as you requested, I will text you when we're about to do Velma, that Emmy-winning series. Wait,
what?
No, we get back. We'll get back to you for that. But